Okay, and this vid is make buffs great again. I just cut down every lane to 2 flame auras, so there's not too much damage going on, only 2 everywhere. So some enemies just get here. Just have to watch out for geodes, but that's fine. And man, that damage, it's like 70k more poison damage, which is 210k DPS, or well, actually a bit more with crit and stuff. It's like 250 to 300k more DPS on a level 1 PDT, which is insane already. 274. It's like 55k more damage, which is like 170 to 180k more DPS just from poison damage alone. Oh dear. This will be fun. Same setup as with Nimbus. Walls buff defenses, the boost aura, and the buff beam. And the buff beam buffs the boost aura and the defenses. And the boost aura buffs the defenses. So buffs, buffs, and even more buffs. Even these walls, man. Shit. Even the cannons. Holy Jesus. Let's just see how it goes. I mean, if a Zapper comes, I should be able easily to kill it with the anti-air shot. Which again, I recommend the anti-air shot for 40% more damage against flying units. Assassins are flying units. EMP flyers are logically flying units. So I would definitely consider using that chart. And I can't even really shoot normal air units. That's all I can do. Or if they fly deep enough, I can pole smash it. That's all. What the damage from 2 level 1 flame auras. What the fuck? 2 level 1 flame auras. Just nearly kill them all. Jesus Christ. Please. Please, Trendy. If a Fisher can deal around this damage, I have no problem with it. But flame auras can hit air units. And since they can deal AoE damage while hitting air units as well, and they deal more DPS than Fishers, just nerf, please. Cause a Fisher has the exact same DP and crit formula. They have, with the same item, they have the same attack and crit damage. The difference is a flame aura by itself is faster. It's like 0.08 seconds faster. So it attacks faster and can attack air units. I mean, the difference is with range gambit, flame aura has like 1k range, and Fishers have 1125, I guess. So in total, in both directions, like here and here, it's like together 250 range more. But still, it's that little bit of range benefit is not changing anything. I mean, let's see. I mean, the stat boost is not the worst, but it's like doing nothing. If I upgrade this now, it has 3k and 4k. So 300 DP and 400 crit. It adds, yeah, 10k. Wow. Insane. Trendy. Really. Do something about upgrades for buff tower. Buff defenses. That's... yeah. I mean, they make sense if you spam a lot, but the range for boost auras is just so low that you can hardly fit 4 or 5 towers in it. Even if you do, this is a rare occasion where you... I have 5 towers in it. And I managed it only because I shoot 2 lanes. Or better, 3 lanes with 5 towers in this boost aura. So, yeah. It's like I have my boosts. Boost. Just to have everything on level 2. It's not doing much, but just so it looks pretty. If nothing else, then it should look pretty. Like the walls level 2. It doesn't matter, but it looks pretty. So, let's see. Actually, I want to upgrade my buff towers. I want to see what damage they can reach. This is crap. I want to buff it from boost as well. Oh, fuck it. I want to give it boost aura buff as well. Oh, cool. Nice. It works. Okay. I could make crazy strong PDTs. Come in the middle. Holy Jesus. 445k damage. That's nearly 1.5 million DPS from poison alone, without the crit damage on the poison. Which is another like 94, 31. 9.4. Yeah, like 30k. Bit less. Which is another 100k. So it's like 1.6 million DPS from crit damage. That just... I'm getting an ogre. I mean, the crit damage is just nuts. It's pure overkill. It's so much overkill. I mean, it's a high roll build. Nothing more, nothing less. Crit builds, that's what I hate about crit builds. It's just high rolling. It's not, oh, I have a tower, it makes that much damage. I can calculate it. It's more like, I have a tower that has a lot of crit damage. It has, I mean, if you have a 10% crit chance and a tower has 0 attack damage and 1000 crit damage, then on average it deals 100 DPS. The same would be, well, if it attacks once per second. If you have a defense that has 100 attack damage, attacks once per second, and has 0 crit damage, it would be the same, but it wouldn't be such a high roll bullshit. I mean, the other tower deals 1000 damage once every 10 attacks. And I mean, here we have 30%, but still it's a high roll build. Since all towers just or nearly all towers have their best stat is crit damage, makes it pretty annoying, cause the expensive towers like Ballista or Earth Shatter or stuff like that mostly attack slowly. I mean, Nimbus is something else, but they attack so fucking slow. And if you have a tower that relies purely on crit damage to deal any damage at all, and it deals it's slow on top of it, it's just crap. It's pure garbage. And that's if I want to be really nice. So Trendy, please stop that crit shit. And another thing, just if you think about it, Trendy, from a calculation standpoint, if you make if a max mark and a max medallion have exact the same amount of DP and crit damage on it, yeah, and then I say, okay, the maximum crit chance is 30%. Well, that's nice, but that means that you need a certain multiplier for crit to be equally strong as DP. The problem is, they made a crit multiplier 5 times as high as DP. 5 times. Which means if normally with when both DP and crit have 100% multiplier, and I'm like, okay, 30% crit chance, then crit is 30 just like 30% as effective as DP. If you now say, okay, crit damage is now 5 times as effective, or you gain 5 times more crit damage per crit damage stat than attack damage from DP, then suddenly you can just say, okay, I say, okay, 30% crit chance is like 30% of the damage, and if I take it now times 5, it's like 150% damage, where attack damage is at 100%. So, Zappa. I mean, that's why I can't understand why they made crit 5 times as effective as DP. Just if you make simple math, you see that crit will be way too OP. You can see it right from the get-go. And it makes no sense at all. I mean, if they would make a crit cap 25% and a 4 times multiplier, a crit build and a DP build would be exactly as effective as the other build. But the thing is, you have a base crit chance of 10%. That's beginner friendly. I don't want to cut that. And Ascension 20% crit, reasonable. Not OP, but reasonable. So I would have, through this alone, 30%. Which means 25% crit damage cap. No. So we have to utilize somehow. We have to somehow utilize the fucking crit chance shard that we have, which is right now useless. Except for leveling to 50 till you get your ascension points, it's complete garbage. Without ascension points, you can have 25% crit chance with the shard and the base crit chance. So if we would just increase the crit cap to 50% crit chance, which is, well, mostly a crit chance hard cap for MMOs as well. I mean, it's reasonable. 50% is reasonable. You want consistency in crit builds, otherwise it's just a fucking high roll build, and 30% is a high roll build for me. It's not even 1/3 of the time you deal insane amounts of damage. If I now make the crit damage times 10 and have a 3% crit chance, it would be even more high roll. It's just damage that I don't need. On a rare occasion, it would be just crap. This aura would be crap if I would have on this nearly 6 million crit damage but a 3% crit chance. It would be complete garbage. Yeah. It's just working because 30% is high enough for this defense, but only because it attacks so fast. If it wouldn't attack so fast, it would be trash. Because 30% is not that high. If you think about it, 3 from 10 attacks crit. Attack 10 times, that's 4 seconds. Within 4 seconds you deal 3 times reasonable damage, and 7 times you deal like no damage at all. And it works. It still works. Cause the crit multiplier is so high. This is the only reason why it works. Why it makes this shit work. I mean, look. I have enemies with millions of HP. And I have 60k attack damage and I own everything. It's a joke. Just the crit damage I roll. Just instead of 5 times the multiplier, make it a 2 times multiplier and increase the crit chance cap. Increase it to 50%. Stop these fucking awkward numbers. Just make it clean. Just make it clean. This way you have a maximum. I mean, yeah, you have twice the crit damage than attack damage from the same amount of stats. But if you keep the on the same items the stats equal, so a maximum mark has the same amount of main stat as a maximum medallion, then you can start making clear and reasonable math. So you have the same amount of max stats, the same amount of secondary stats, and now you start with making a clean multiplier. Not like 3.33, fuck me. Just make 2 or 4 or something like that. And since 4 would mean 25% crit chance, which is way too low, considering you get 10% base, 20% ascension, and have a 15% shard, which is 45% in total, just make 50%. And now you have a maximum of 45% crit chance you can get currently. 20% ascension, 10% base, and 15% from the shard. So in order to look now, just make a 200% multiplier, not 500. Set the crit cap to 50%, and either increase the base crit chance to 15%, which actually would help a lot with new player experience, or increase the crit chance shard to 20%. But I would say base crit chance 5% more. Cause, yeah, a DP crit medallion has crit damage as well then. That's normal. But a crit, a mark with DP has attack damage as well. So it evens itself out. So, but not 500%. It's way too much. It's way too much. And just make a clean multiplayer and start from there. But this is just... I don't know who's making the testing for Trendy. But I mean, I guess a lot of people could just fix this bullshit. The stupid balancing we have right now within a day or two. If we would just get a fucking... Sorry for my language, but I'm just a bit pissed right now, like a lot of people. And we could easily balance this stuff within 1 or 2 days. 1 or 2 full days of testing. If a person wants to dedicate him or herself to this. And we would actually be fine. We had a balanced game, the defenses would be balanced and stuff. I mean, I like new content, sure. Not opposed to that, but I have no gain from new content when the towers are not balanced. So every bullshit overpowered build is clearing new content like Brain AFK, while other towers are just not even in max gear viable, like bees. I'm in C7 gear. Bees are just garbage. It's just not really working. That's how bad they are. And Nimbus only worked cause Flame Auras carried them. That's all. Flame Auras just carried the shit out of Nimbus. I mean, nothing really reached my walls on Nimbus Reach. Nothing. Just a few mobs that were half dead, with the poison stack still on them, ticking down. The poison actually would have killed the enemies. If you think about it, 9-second poison, this is already dealing like 620k DPS every second, just the poison. So a 9-second poison will deal nearly 6 million damage over 9 seconds. So I can place it actually at the beginning of the lane, and even Lady Ox will die within 9 seconds. I mean, seriously? Just make the poison duration not so high. Make it like 3 seconds. So reapplying it faster would actually make sense. And still it would be a good defense. It's still dealing tons and tons of damage. I like the PDT, but it's just too much. Like the Flame Aura, I like it, but it's too much. It's just too much. Maybe I can just go for it now. DPS Huntress. I mean, I will make a pure attack damage HP Huntress. But well, that was my opinion. It's Trendy, just fix something, please.